Many of our videos have focused on problems and misconceptions when buying appliances. You can read our reliability rates based on 37,000 actual service calls, not speculation. Then you can read about the many problems after the sale like delivery, installation, and finding service. With chronic labor shortages, these problems have become worse. However, the assumption was always you were buying the right appliances for your project in the first place. And that is a bad assumption. With basic research, you probably know more than the expert salesperson at the local box store. Then again, a few may actually know what they're talking about. Some will even care about you and your project. In this video, you'll learn the 10 appliance questions, so you will know whether your appliance salesperson does indeed know the latest appliances. Then we'll look at reviews and specifics to see how they'll treat you after the sale. As a bonus, you'll also learn whether your salesperson is being spiffed or heavily compensated to sell an appliance by a manufacturer. It's a problem you need to know before you appliance shop. Let's start. By the way, these are good questions to ask yourself before you begin a project. This is a trick question because it really depends on the size, the brand, and other factors. Asking this question will demonstrate how much deep knowledge your salesperson has. The proper response is, how do you like to cook? In fact, this should be the response for many questions. For roasting, gas is better with its moisture heat. Broiling is also far better with gas, especially with the intense directed heat of an infrared broiler. Electric is more consistent, drier, and better for baking. If the answer is speed of gas with the dry heat of electric, then you should buy Induction. It's faster than even the hottest pro range, and you have the electric oven. So for a regular 30-inch range, Induction should be your choice unless you broil and roast more. This isn't exactly a trick question, but another requiring deep explanation. Induction is magnetic heat. The magnets excite the molecules of the pan while the pan cooks the food, bypassing the glass surface. It's faster than a pro-range burner with an infinite simmer. Other benefits include safety. Induction cannot be activated without a metal pan on the top, which is a big benefit if you have kids. Venting. Induction requires less venting because it doesn't emit heat like gas. It's more cleanable. The top doesn't heat like electric or gas, so food doesn't bake into the surface. Induction's a better way to cook, except gas is a better choice in larger sizes if you want to grill, French top, or griddle. Gas is also more reliable because Induction is vulnerable to voltage spikes, so check in your area. The answer to this is absolutely not. A downdraft cannot vent properly. Yes, it's better than nothing and should only be used as replacement for other downdrafts if you can't vent anywhere else, but never in new construction. Venting is about capture area or how much height, width, and depth is in your hood. Downdrafts have no capture area. They also reverse the direction of the air and have longer venting runs. You can consider an overhead island hood to vent properly or place a sink in the middle and move the cooking to a wall. Makeup air is the law in Massachusetts. Any hood over 400 CFM requires an equal return of air. You would either return air through your HVAC system or 10 feet away from your stove on an opposite wall. It's important because without a fresh return of air, you'll be breathing unhealthy air from your garage, attic, or furnace. Even if you live in an older home or in a state without the law, you should consider a fresh air return in your house. This question has many responses. The best response should be, how do you cook? If you grill, griddle, or wok, then higher CFM is needed because more heat, smoke, and grease will be emitted. 1,000 CFM for a 36-inch range should be adequate. You should also have a recommendation for a larger hood with greater depth for better capture. For 30-inch ranges, 600 CFM for higher output cooking is a good recommendation. Once again, the answer should be tailored to how you use your stove. This is a sneaky question, but you'll know knowledge and honesty with the response. The answer is nobody should like black stainless. It's just an oxide coating and is easily scratchable, leaving the shiny undercoating. It cannot be repaired and is not warranted as it is considered cosmetic by the manufacturer. So the right answer is don't buy it. Consider stainless white or other designer finishes if you want just a unique pop of color. You only need 44 decibels and can't hear the decibel difference below that. So run again if the tactic is to step you up based on quietness and not any other features. Of course, you could buy 39 decibel dishwashers from KitchenAid and Beko under $1,000. The bad answer is reliability, as it is almost identical between top and front load washing machines. Here's the actual numbers. For front load, it's size, efficiency, and features like steam and auto dispensers. It's reliable, yet harder and more expensive to fix. Mold issues can occur if you don't dry residual water, and always keep the door open. Top loads are less expensive and simpler to fix, but lacking capacity and features. A hybrid top load is a combination with the size and efficiency of a front load and the convenience of a top load just without the agitator. It's an interesting design, but washability has been questioned in past hybrid washing machines. The TC series has the agitator tied to the motor, while the TR series uses water flow to move the agitator. The TC is more aggressive in removing stains, while the TR is gentler on your clothes. Twin evaporators and compressors keep the freezer and refrigerator air from commingling so tastes and odors don't transfer. It's a good question to ask because half the brands are twin evaporator or compressor while the other half are just still single compressor. Short answer is door protrudes on the counter depth while the integrated fits within a 24-inch depth cabinet. An integrated is seamless to your cabinets, but the most expensive per square foot. You'll see the door protrude in a regular or professional counter depth refrigerator. The answer is the manufacturer will handle service. Then look at this graph. We handle service or have an arrangement with a competent local service provider is an acceptable answer. Then find out who that competent service provider is. So your salesperson knows their product. That's good. However, what happens after you order appliances? How's the follow-up? How are they at handling problems? For that, you need to do some research. Go to the Google reviews, type in their name, and see what is written. You have to be mindful that there are always two sides to every story and isolated complaints. However, you're looking for patterns. If they show a pattern of not returning phone calls or ghosting you after collecting your money, then consider other options. Sales spiffs. One of the biggest problems in our industry is spiffs or payments directly from the manufacturer to the salesperson, even bypassing store ownership. We don't allow manufacturer spiff salespeople at Yale, and some of these payments can be huge. So if your appliance salesperson is pushing an unknown or unfamiliar brand for no apparent reason, then they're probably being spiffed. To be fair, some unknown brands like SKS, Heston, and Beko have great features you should consider, but others do not. So just be conscious of not being pushed into any unknown brands without features you want or need. Your kitchen is an important part of your house and life. It's where you cook and congregate as a family. Asking questions is the only way to determine whether your salesperson knows what they're talking about and whether you get what you really need. So be mindful of how you'll be treated after the sale by the salesperson in store. Lastly, be careful of what and why you're buying and make sure it corresponds to what you need. You don't want to be persuaded into buying an appliance due to a heavier commission.